Hello, and welcome to the Blessed Seed, where we hope to give you peaceful advice for your journey. So today we are doing a Who Should Pay Attention to This read. I have many different ones that I do, and this is what the theme is for this weekend. Yeah, I hope all is going well. And for what's not going well, I hope I have some information that gives you clarity to help it go better. All right, so we are going to get started. So here, I do a more systematic approach where I follow a guideline that me and the Lord set up before I started this channel, and I want to stick with that. So I do shuffling in real time to uphold the integrity, and so that you know that the Lord is really speaking and He really does have a message. I'm not getting anything beforehand. It's raining outside, but it's not like a gloomy rain, it feels like. It just feels like a nice spring thunderstorm kind of thing. So I feel very peaceful. I feel very peaceful. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, and for any personal readings, if you would like those, if you're wanting clarity, specific clarity for your situation, you can go to coffee.com/the blessed seed. You can catch all of my full readings here on YouTube, and the NPR readings, which is a missing person reading, under its own playlist. And then if you go on Coffee, you can catch all of my shorts. Okay. So, Father, may we have one or two or whatever is necessary for who needs to hear this reading. I don't know. I feel very mellow. I do a ritual before the reading. It takes about 20 minutes or so to kind of get me into presenting and making sure that it's not my energy that's coming through, but the energy of the Holy Spirit, giving His perspective and His story for whatever you're going through. Okay. Father, I don't know if I should keep those all. They came out together. But is there anything else? Man, life can be so peaceful if you let it. And the most wonderful things can happen that you didn't see coming. That's what's exciting about, this adventure. Thank you. All right. So here we go. And I'll put him back if he says to put him back, or keep him if he says to keep him. So it's not my story. This is the Lord's time. And I'm just glad to be a vessel. Now they came out all at once. So give me a second. I'm going to show you each card, and then I'm going to read the story. And again, this is for who should pay attention to this reading if you're going through these things. This seems like a lot. But let me see if he says anything else for me to put back, keep, move. Give me 1 second. So we have authority figure. We have someone is searching, praying, praying for forgiveness because there was an alt committed, don't know what or when or on what level. And so now you're craving, hungry, I mean, thirsting, like really wanting to be found innocent. You want them to see you as innocent. When I look at this card, which is the farm, and with imprisonment or slavery, it's showing that physical freedom will not be granted. But this situation is going to help you to turn your life around. Sometimes it looks super, super bad on the outside when this is a catalyst for change and it's necessary. Now, I don't know if you committed that alt, and I'm calling it an alt because I don't know what it was. I'm not privy to how deep it went, how serious the affliction was upon someone else or that situation. I don't know what the situation was. Now, unless the Lord reveals that to us at this point, He's just saying that you're going to have your day of judgment. You're hoping that they see you as innocent, but that won't be the outcome. But it's going to be life changing. You know, sometimes I say that there's never a problem, there's only a plan. And this reading, I guess, is I heard to be one of hope. And in hope, meaning to see the lesson, learn the lesson, and understand the next steps of the choices that you're going to make. Father, what is the message of this reading? What is the overall message of this reading? And it doesn't say how long there will be that. It doesn't say when it'll take effect. I don't know if this was past and you've gone through this, you weren't found innocent, and you had to go away for a little while, and it changed your life. Changed your life for the better, mind you. So now I have the question of who am I speaking with? And when I say that, I mean, who did you become? I feel like that's a part of what's going to be revealed. Who you became or who you will become due to this situation. And we know that life is life, and sometimes it works out in our favor. Actually, I have to take that back. Everything works for the good of those who are in Christ Jesus. Sometimes we make decisions that aren't the best. Sometimes we have to pay for that decision that we made. But the outcome is always in our favor. We will learn that lesson. We will take heed of it in hopes of never doing that same thing again because we don't want to end up back in this rotation, right? I feel like I'm speaking to a male person. And I want to say a younger, gosh, I don't even know. Because when it comes out monk or nun, if you've gone through this situation, I would say you're in your 30s, maybe mid 30s. If you haven't gone through this situation, I would say you are the brink of being in your 20s, or you're in your very early 20s, like up to 22. And again, it doesn't say how long you had to go through this. It just says that is going to be a road that's going to be taken. So, Father, what is the overall story of the reading? You guys give me just a second. I was heard to do that. I was complaining that the cards feel sticky. I didn't know why, but now I'm going to. He said, wipe them often. So now I'm wiping them off. I do wash my cards, and I wash them often because I want a new energy when we come into these readings. I want, what does the Lord want to say at this time? And I try to get the full thought out so there's no continuation from the previous reading. Because our life changes daily. And sometimes when we're stuck in that loop of the same energy, the same thing, it gets a little frustrating. So over here, we just do it the way the Lord says, and I hope it's beneficial to you. Okay, so now I'm going to shuffle again, and we're going to get this story. Father, I see inner child and help from above. Sorry, the light is glaring, but it was a little dark today. Okay. He says, don't be afraid to look. If that makes any, don't be afraid to look. See what you're seeing. I hope that makes sense. But he's like, in that moment, oh yeah, that does feel better. Thank you, Father. In that moment, be in the moment, be fully aware in there. So, Father, may we have one or two for the overall story of the reading, the overall message of the reading. Thank you. Is there another? And it's okay to go through the situations, be they good or adverse. Why? Because we're living the life. And you're living the life based on the decisions, based on your upbringing, your point of perspective. And sometimes our points of perspective can be little or short distance. And it's okay to broaden it, Don't be afraid of going through with something just to see. Even if you like, I just want to know. It's okay to do that because now you're broadening your horizon. You're furthering your perspective so then you have more to pull from in your resource bag. Father, is there anything else? Thank you. Is there anything else? Some people are so afraid to live, And it's like, well, hey, if it's good, bad, it hurts, it feels good. Whatever you find yourself in, go through with it and see what's on the other side. Don't just be like, oh, I'm so afraid we're not even gonna, because sometimes those situations are put in place by other people, so you have no choice. So go through it with a curiosity instead of a fear. Thank you, Father. Is there anything else? Okay. Yes? Oh, this one I left. Alchemy. Something is coming to completion. I'm going to put it back because I don't know if we need it, but it was left on the table by accident. Okay. So we have say what you mean. Healing. Say what you mean. Falling on top of the authority figure. So if you haven't gone through this, be honest when you get there. And whatever happens, happens. But your honesty, your integrity will speak volumes. Healing while you're in this place. Healing will take place. Unleash your creativity. Just because you are in a place of solitary or confinement doesn't mean you have to stop being your authentic self. If you're a creative person, now you have time. Now you have time to put effort into that thing that you want to achieve once you get done participating in this moment in your life. You're always going to be you as long as you're living. What do you prefer to do in that moment? How do you want to handle that situation? Home, abundance. When you come out of that thing, you are going to be changed for the better with abundance on your shoulders, I heard, for you to grab from. I don't know why I did that motion. You can't see it. But on your shoulders. So no, it's not easy to go through something like that. No, it's not fun. But you make the most of your life wherever you find yourself in life. Have faith that everything is going to work out. Because it's a plan to progress you and not to hinder you. Even though Lord might be like, they was on TikTok talking about sit your black down. I thought that was hilarious, by the way, and I did. I followed instruction. Pay attention to signs. So just because you are somewhere against your will, because who would want to be there, right? So I'm going to use that term, against your will, doesn't mean you can't still be you. And I don't know why that's important because I've said that like 4 times now. You're not losing yourself if you don't want to lose yourself. You understand? You go in there prayed up, still like you would do out here. You go in there asking the Lord to guide your footsteps. Father, go before me. Father, address their hearts to see you first and not me. Lord, keep me safe and put a hedge of protection around me. You understand? Wherever you find yourself in life, you still be your authentic self. And what is the overall energy of the reading? It feels somber. The rain makes sense now. What is the overall energy of the reading? Okay, Father, may we have 1 or 2 or whatever is necessary. Okay. Thank you, I did. Is there anything else, Father? Got it. There's multiple. Top one. Is there anything else, Father? Is there anything else, Lord? You're going to use your intellect, right? You're going to think. When I'm looking at the dealing with Mercury, movement and expression, having proper transportation of your voice. Staying strong, right? You're not going to be afraid. You're going to go through with it and come out on the other side. Is there anything else, Lord? Okay. So you're going to come through it on the other side, being hidden for a little while, but when you emerge, that's what we want to focus on. While you're there, what are you doing to prepare for when you reemerge? So you're going to evolve, just like what we just talked about. And this deals with, progression and freedom and awakening. So in this situation, you have time for a full awakening so that you can emerge how you need to. So it's almost like how a butterfly is a caterpillar at first, and they go inside. And then when they come out of that thing, because it's not probably easy, it's a tight space, you have to kind of break into it. And you're going to use your brain. You're going to make right choices. That is the truth. You're going to weigh your options. You're going to think, and you're going to elevate yourself. And the Lord's going to be right there wherever you are, He is. So you'll still never be alone. Some of the things you might have to go through, you might have to hear, you might have to see, might be a little harsh, more than a normal person would have to see and deal with. But you're not coming off as weak to me. I don't care your physical stature. You're not coming off as weak. You act like you take action, you have passion about what you do. You're a warrior. Like I said, you're not weak. There's a bit of aggression, you know. Okay, a lot of aggression. And it's showing abundant aggression with the 8 being there. Maybe that's what caused this situation to arise. The fact that you're not weak. I don't know what it was, so I'm not going to make assumptions. You were there. You know better than I do. But you're going to come out restored. You're going to come out on top with purpose and a good consciousness. And like I said, I was feeling a masculine energy. That's the best end result you want to have, right? So that's the overall energy of the reading. You're going to start out as that caterpillar, turning into that butterfly due to your choices and your thinking and your being on top of your game and still being creative while you're there and making a plan for when you reemerge. And you will become the truth. That change is going to catapult you. You were already strong. You were already determined. And so this was what was needed to jump you into that high priestess. This is what was needed to jump you into your forever timeline for you to awaken and understand how to use your power. Understand what the ego really is there for and the difference between ego and pride. So, Father, what should our mindset be? What should the mindset be? We understand what is going to come about, but what should the mindset be to go through it even? What is the focus on the person watching who's understanding what I'm saying? They get it. And for the one that has already been through this and it's not something that's upcoming, but you're already here, What a powerful story you have to tell. Don't keep it hidden. Don't keep it hidden. Don't be ashamed that you changed for the better. See, it's all in how you perceive something, right? You could say, man, I went away and I was doing this and I was that and that and that. Okay, but who are you now? Who are you now? That was only the beginning. You didn't pass away back then. You didn't just stop right there, did you? No, you evolved. And look at you now, being that strong masculine presence, having that voice of authority, backed by a testimony of what can be. Wow, that's very, very attractive. And Father, what should our mindset be? I don't know why I feel softer. I just kind of noticed that there's a certain part of submission that I'm feeling at the moment that I should be in, um, and to not, I'm a little old fashioned. I don't want to speak out of place. um, when dealing with this type of energy that is exhaled. You understand? So yeah, we all mess up. Okay, it's life. It happens. When we don't know no better, when we're acting up, when our minds ain't on the right thing at the right time, or we act on emotion absurdly, things happen. So okay, but that don't mean you stop. That don't mean the who you are supposed to be stops. It's just kind of okay, acknowledging. Thank you, Lord, I did, and understanding that okay. So now that happened, nope. Okay, just the one. Thank you. Thank you. Now that happened, all right, I'm done had my fun. you know, it's and also I usually have ambient noise in the background. So this time I don't, so I feel open. I don't know why. Because I like the ambient noise in the background, like the white noise. You may not be able to pick it up on the microphone, but this is different for me because I usually have that in the background and it makes me feel engulfed, wrapped up, and I feel open right now, if that makes sense. It might make sense to other readers out there, but yeah, some of the goofy stuff I feel. Is there anything else, Father? Thank you. 2? There's 3, Lord. Okay. You said 2. Is there anything else? All right. So first one I saw was compassion. You demonstrate the language of the heart by actively sharing and living love. Actively sharing. Let your powerful voice be heard. Present. You live in the moment and are able to bring forth the energy of love in your current circumstances. So you know how to act now. You know how to operate now. Like you know the moves to make and not to make to get the results that you want. You've become, what do they call that? I want to say a guru, a master. You sure look like a master to me. That is what I'm seeing. And that is a little intimidating. Um, respect. You value everyone's unique perspective on the path of love. Empathy. You feel and understand the emotions of another in the service of love. Compassion, being present, having respect and empathy for the people who are going through that now, because you're going to be speaking with that powerful voice to be an impact on their life. Loyalty. Your reliability demonstrates your loving sense of devotion and consistency of being. So you're loyal to your cause. And I don't know what you created, but that was the way to go. Acceptance. You are ready to release control of situations or people and lovingly embrace the rhythm of life. So that old life you had is no longer, but you're keeping it as your testimony and the catalyst to possibly deter someone else that you are speaking with to not take that same kind of turn, right? Oh, I like that. So then what is the obstacle? This is such a little bitty piece of the cards. What is the obstacle right now, Father? Ugh, these nails, I tell you what, I got to do them like twice a week because they're my real nails. You know, I hate going to the nail shop because they cut down too deep and then they take off when it looks okay. All I need is a paint, and y'all trying to bald me. Like, no, please. Uh, but that's neither here nor there. I'm just trying to give you an insight on the ridiculousness of why my nails sometimes look chipped, sometimes, oh, they look good today. And then tomorrow's like, well, she had it, but it's gone. Because I'm busy. I guess if I do, that's not my main concern. Even though I want to be presentable and nice and da 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 da, that's just not it for me. I'm functional. I'm not glass case ish. Now I'm pretty as being glass case. Don't get it wrong, but I'm rather be functional. Okay, Father, is there anything else for what is the obstacle right now? Got it. So an obstacle right now would be protection. Seek the truth within before pointing fingers. So use your voice to elevate and not condemn or belittle because you know you got it. You know you hear it. You know what it is, right? Someone else who doesn't, we still want to keep compassion and respect because it's their first time going through it, probably, or is they're on the brink of it and you can see it, but it's still speak with kindness and a protected voice, not a condescending one, you know. Judgment. Judge less, understand more. Kind of goes right with that. Ask questions and be like, okay, well, why did you do it though? Or why do you think that would be the right thing to do? And end it with like, yo, I'm curious. Or begin it with, I'm curious, right? Because then people are more apt to open it up and be like, well, I was thinking this. You know, it goes back into almost like that childlike state. Like when you ask a child, why'd you do that? And then they tell you like, oh, okay, I can see that. I can see why. It was still wrong, but I can see why you would have did it. You know, there's still gonna be consequences, but I hear where you're coming from. That's not unrealistic. From your perspective, okay, that would be a choice that I would have probably had to. So, obsession. Release the chains of thought and free your mind. Instead of the word obsession, do you have a sense of PTSD? Is there some type of anxiety attached to the thoughts and what you went through? Breathe. Understand you are no longer in that moment, but in those moments when it comes up, it can seem like I am still there. But that's when you have to be vocal and you have to do a little bit of practicing things where you're like, okay, I'm not in that situation anymore. I am okay. Yes, that happened, but we are no longer there. And kind of keep that as a mantra or as a little sort of chant when these things start to arise. Like, yes, I'm looking at it. I see what happened. I was there. I'm not there anymore. I'm not that same person. That was a part of my life, but I'm good now. Everything is okay. There is no problem. There was only a plan. And look where it got me today. And people think that they don't have to do the work in order to keep their sanity at reasonable a reasonable height, but we do have to talk to ourselves. Why? Because we're our best friend, we're our champ, we're our everything, right? First, before anything external, we need to take it internally and devote our time to ourselves. And like, we are okay. We were scared. We were weak, but we're not weak no more, right? So it's taking the time to put back into yourself, because I know I see obsession, but it's more of a anxiety. It's more of a, when you think back on it, you get stuck. And sometimes it's a little hard to pull you out because it was so traumatic, and it was such a unwanted experience. It doesn't have to mean that it was gruesome, like some of what our military goes through. It doesn't mean that it has to be on that level to still be super traumatic, because it was an unwanted experience. You understand, there's levels to it. And just because it's not, looks like what it looks like to someone else, doesn't mean it's not the same quality. So pull yourself back. Learn how to pull yourself back. Learn what will get you out of that moment and get out of it a little bit faster. And look around and actually say, hey, I'm okay. I'm doing well. I can do as I please. I'm okay. Distrust. One of the obstacles might be distrust. Faith in oneself can rebuild trust in others. So when you're being real about what you're really going through and not trying to keep face, I don't try to keep face because my father doesn't make me have to. So I get to be my true, authentic, goofy, knowledgeable, and resourceful, yet down to earth self. Because this will never define me. It only helps me with my progression of my passions. So when you're in that moment, be authentic. And be like, yes, this is what it is. Yes, I made $1 million. Okay. Do you want to make that? What is your end goal? When you're talking to people, I just brought that. I don't know. It could be anything. It'd be like, yes, I brushed my teeth. It could be anything. But when you're in that moment, be real and know that, hey, that's okay. Hey, I made 15 cents yesterday. I don't know what the guy was doing. If that's the real deal, but it's like, be authentic with whatever it is. Hey, I messed up again. I, I mean, I was trying, but you know what? This is life, and I happen to like that thing, and I got carried away, and that's okay. It's life, but just know when you're going too far. But again, this is projecting to whoever you're speaking with, whoever, because I feel like you're crossing a lot of people's paths, and when you're doing that, have faith and know who you are, and that's okay. Maybe you're not where they are. Maybe they're way above you, and that's somewhere you're trying to climb to, but you're on that journey. So still be like, yeah, and I'm doing my best. And just being real makes a way bigger difference, because people can spot the fakes when they look into your soul. I'm sorry, your eyes. When they look into your eyes, they can see the truth. And some people who are paying attention will acknowledge that, either in their own mind and take note, or they'll be verbal about it and say something. But the ones who are paying attention, the ones who are seeking from you, they can tell authentic versus, I'm just trying to get away with this. I'm just saying this so you'll think I'm something, 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 and you don't have to be. You're just as good, just as you. And according to what I saw, you're amazing. So you don't have to pretend to be nothing. You ain't got it yet. All right, I ain't got it yet. That don't mean I ain't gonna have it. It just means today I'm on something else. Hey, it might show up tomorrow. But whatever it is, authentically you, that's amazing for you. That looks good on you. That sounds good. People can tell and they're going to want more. So then, Father, what is hidden that we do not see? What is hidden that we do not see? I feel a sense of respect for you. And I don't know who you are. I just feel like, oh, that's amazing. That's nice. Yeah, that's really nice. I love that your story was one of triumph because you made it that way. You had a choice. You could have fallen subject to whatever was going on in there, but you chose to be creative. You chose to say, you know what? I'm not going to be in here for the rest of my life. What can I put together? What can I plan? What can I do to make my time worth it, even here? And the Lord will speak to you wherever you want to hear from Him. Doesn't matter where you are, He can go there too. He can go there too. So, Father, what is hidden that we do not see? Okay. I just feel highly in my feminine energy. And we all have both, but just right now, I respect your authority, sir. So I'm trying to give words in a very respectful manner, but what needs to be said just needs to be said, and I'm here to say it. That's just the way He made me. But I know how to, give it in a good way. Hopefully that is receptive. But, just be authentically you. And if you ain't for the bullshit, you just ain't for the, you know what I'm saying? And that's okay. People think there's something wrong with that. No, be who you are because it matters. Father, is there anything else? Okay, I did. Take a reality check. Push through any insecurity. Is there anything else, Father? And these are things that are hidden that you may not see. Maybe this reading was to just kind of present a couple options for you, a couple perspectives that maybe you didn't see altogether, because you're in your power, or you will be in your power. So if this hasn't happened yet, this is like let's think about this before we even get started with it, right? I would love that. I don't know how you get into different things, or I don't know how you where your videos show up. I know that people in jail have cell phones now and they can watch YouTube and stuff. And I hope they come across my channel for inspiration. Make time for self-love. Didn't we just talk about that? Okay. That might be hidden that you didn't see. I feel like you are very receptive though. Whoever I'm speaking to, and it might be multiple people who are on different levels of this journey right now at this time. Push through any insecurities. You got this. We've already seen that. There's no worries there. Take a reality check. Is there something that you haven't done that you want to do? Is there a part of you that you haven't spoken about that you think needs to be spoken up for? Just look at what's going on, and whatever you feel like you need to change it, because that would be great. See the bigger picture. You didn't just go through that for you. You're not as strong as you are just for you. Sometimes people need to see that strength in order to be like, oh, I need to make that my goal, to have that kind of strength. How do we get there? And then when they start asking those questions, because you planted the seed, even, unbeknownst to you, that seed was set. And now the Lord can work. He has something to work with. Because that hope and that desire, the Lord wants to see it come to fruition for that person. See the bigger picture. Trust the universe. The Lord still got you, just like He had you way back then. And He said, you're not going to go alone. I'm going to go with you. Shoot, you shouldn't have did it. But since we're here now, we're going to take this road. And we're still going to take this road together. Right? Because that don't mean the Lord give up on you because you mess up. For example, I'm going to use Mr. Kirk Franklin. Everybody knew he cussed. When he came out with Stomp, we knew he was a real one, right? But we also know that he loves the Lord and he is a worshiper at heart, right? But when you be getting frustrated, you be getting frustrated. And like, where's you do and stuff be coming up. Why? Because we are human and we are ourselves. And we don't have to apologize for it. Why? Because even though, let's say, I don't know what his title really is, but even if he is the you know how they have the R&B king and the king of pop, all those kind of things. If he is the king of worship, right? He is the goat of worship, right? And making it uh, valid. He don't have to hide who he really is. And people often think that in order to be presented as this, I have to hide this part of me, or I can't allow this part of me. No, that's why I'm goofy. That's why I still keep that humor about myself. Because even if I'm the greatest reader ever in the world, which we know that's not the truth, because I'm only relaying a message that he's telling me in real time. It's like if I'm the greatest goat of reading, and then you're like, but she act dumb when she ain't, well, hey, that's a part of me too. Sometimes I be getting caught off guard. Sometimes I don't know some stuff about some stuff. I stay in my lane. So there's a lot of stuff I don't know about. I just happen to get exposure to different things. You know what I'm saying? I just happen to enjoy seeing someone catch a fish and take it from out of the water into the frying pan. And then we're eating it. That is awe worthy for me, Because it's like, wow, you can really survive. Like you really got skills. Like, and I don't even touch it. I'll touch it once, you get all the stuff out, and then once it's time for me to put the batter on it, But that's why you work as a team. But to be able to see someone who knows how to do that or have certain skills that I don't have is all worthy. You know what I mean? So trust that the Lord got you. You're here for purpose and reason. And the seeds that you plant, you're not even aware you're planting them. You're just being authentically you. And people are grasping to that. And then they want more. They want more of that. But yeah, going back to the Kirk Franklin thing, no disrespect intended. Um, Give Me That is one of my favorite songs. Right? And it's like a man that can come up with that kind of thing and still make it relevant to the Lord. Right on the, I mean, right up there with Lecrae, right? But it's like, it's okay to be who you are. I thank God when he told me that I didn't have to wear that fake mask that they wear, sometimes in church. Oh, I have to be a holier than thou. Well, I'm not holier than thou, but I am holy. He loved me a lot. Like, and that's what matters to me. Is the Lord approving of what I'm doing most of the time? Okay. Because I like to get out there and play pool. And you know what happens when you play pool? You know what I mean? Or is he telling me something and I'm not paying attention and I'm not hearing him and I am distracted to all get out, and now he's disappointed in me? Those are the things that matter to me. The real things, not the topical little because I'm human and because I'm black in America or because I'm da 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 da. All right. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to hide yourself to fit in with somebody else. Love yourself wherever you find yourself. Because obviously you didn't pick who you were going to be out the womb, right? Well, maybe we did. Let me take that back. When we had the conversation. Because the Lord says, I knew you before you were in your mother's womb. So we did have a conversation. But it's like we didn't really know what it would look like until we got here. And we didn't know how other people would be until we got here. We just knew what our mission is and what we're supposed to do. And can we do it through adversity? And can we keep calling on the Lord to keep coming up and bailing us out? Yeah, I get bailed out on a daily basis. I don't know about you. But I'm talking too much. Excuse me. All right, Father. So what do we need to further this story? Because I know they're ready to get out of here now because I've been talking a lot. I'm sorry, I's a girl. And Louise likes to talk. Um, and to all my women who are watching this, to all my feminine energies who are watching this, and again, in that respect, I don't mean to be disrespectful either. I just call it how I see it. And if it applies to you, it applies to you. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. Take this into consideration of broadening your perspective in avenues that you need to broaden it. Why? Because we are very powerful. We are the helpmates. You understand? So sometimes that man can't see everything because he's trying to be a protector. He's trying to do this. He's trying to do that. And then the little tiny things start, kind of going under his radar. And that's when we can jump in and say, hey, did you think about this? Was this something that could probably help you with what you're doing? Because I see you're doing this. And I just thought maybe that could be, a little bit of helpful information. And then you leave that with him. Why? Because you're not the changer of person. You don't do nothing. You do exactly what he does. He plants the seed. You plant a seed. You can't change anyone. Did you know that? It's the Lord that causes the change and the catalyst because he speaks to the person. We are there to plant the seed and be on our post. When he say to do this, do it. Okay, now back to your regular life until I call you again. And then when you call me again, okay. And then back to your regular life. You get to enjoy it. I got these things for you because you be helping me out and you be obeying. And I appreciate that. And you hear me and you call on me. And I'm the only person you call on, by the way. So what you need? This is the conversation with the Lord and what he's saying to you. Just because you're on your post at just the right time that he said to be on your post. Why? Because every hardship, everything you're going through, you're learning the lesson. So now he can pull you. And if you want to be receptive to hearing him, to be able to make those moves right off when you say, hey, run here, do this, and you can hear him well, that matters. So to your counterpart, the feminine energy to the masculine energy counterpart, enjoy your life. Be with that masculine energy in enjoyment, not frustration, not trying to change someone, not trying to conform them to your ways, not trying to wrap them around your finger, because a man who is free to be a man, meaning a good man, a loyal man, we saw loyal, who holds compassion in high regard, right? Who's committed, who's respectful, to that man, to watch him work and to watch him thrive and to assist where needed, and then you're taken care of, that is a great relationship. And then to take care of him. It's not always a financial take care of. Sometimes it's a mental take care of. Sometimes he needs to let it all out and know that it's a safe space. Being there to hear that. Being there to just sit sometimes. I'm like, okay, we're going to have a talk. You want some tea? You want you want to make you a coffee? What do you want to do? You want your shoes off? It's okay to go back to that and then put him in a relaxed state. You're in a relaxed state. You're not all up in arms thinking that everything is a life and death decision when it's not. You just have to have some kind of excitement. Watch a TV show for excitement. Don't bring that into your relationship because you just want a thrill. No, go on a thrill to have a thrill. The relationship is supposed to be peaceful. It's two people living their lives who, I want to do it with you. I want to live this life with you. And these are my vows that I'm going to keep to you. You have vows that you're going to keep to each other, but trying to change someone is not that vow because we're going to change automatically as we grow. But letting that person live and have peace and not be all, some of the things that I see, it just really gets me like, but how is anybody supposed to have peace if this is what they're dealing with? And why are they staying there? If you really don't like him, why are you staying there? Leave that man alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, or leave that girl alone. Like, if you don't really like her like that, like what y'all are thinking, have some respect for yourself and for them. Don't bring harm and negativity and unrest. Well, I've said too much. So the only one that I saw, say that again. Okay, we're going to start over. The only one that I saw that came out, Page of Pentacles. Is someone bringing you an offer? Are you bringing an offer to someone? A small offer? And it could be in any regard. We'll know more in just a second. Or maybe I'm just offering this perspective to you. You can take it or leave it. I tell my students all good advice should go into consideration, but you decide what you want to stick with. There's a female, Queen of Cups. Is this a joke, Lord? Are you saying that this is me telling the men, the people? That looks like a female energy too. It doesn't look like male. But in the face and the eyes, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it doesn't look like male to me. But this me, y'all. He's saying he's calling me out. Okay, mother, let's get on with the show. Okay, so let's get on with the show. I think that was just for me to be like, okay, you're giving the advice. You're who you are. Now let's move on. So let's get the real story, Lord. What is the furthering of the message for this masculine energy? Okay. And a message. A lot of fire sign out here and air sign. Okay. So give me just a second. Because now we have the real story after he told me to. Let's go. Let's get on with it. Okay. I got it. Shut up and go herd. That's so funny. Because I get really passionate about this. I love to do this. So I could be here all day. Okay. Thank you. I did. Is there anything else, Lord? Okay. Anything else? Okay. All right. So we have the Ten of Wands. So there's some kind of burden. We know that there's a burden either coming or it hasn't come yet. For who I'm speaking with right now, there's a burden that's on its way. Okay. You're going to get a message. Sorry, we have the Tower. And then you're going to get the Eight of Wands. You're going to get a message from a King of Swords. So whoever that judge is, they're not going to be easy. You still walk in there with integrity. We already know what's getting ready to happen. It's not going to work out in your favor initially, but it's a catalyst to work out in your favor. So that burden that you feel, you need to understand, okay, come to terms with. It's only for a season, and keep that relationship with God tight, right? That fire sign. So it's a very heavy load. Like it's a, it's the max of burden on your mind and on your heart and on your, because of all the external things that still have to be taken care of if you're not there. But there is going to be a Tower moment. And initially, it's going to be devastating, but keep your perspective because we already talked about the outcome, right? While you're in there, you keep being authentically you. Whatever you had on your mind as a passion, go ahead and be creative about it and dig into it. Read up on what that exactly is. Get all the knowledge you need so that when you come out here, you can thrive. So all aspects of whatever you're getting ready to do, because you're going to be in your power, get a full understanding. And there's going to be a message that comes from the King of Swords. Oh, well. And it's not going to be nice. It's not going to sound nice. But guess what? You already know that you can handle it. Okay? It's not what you wanted, but it seems like it's what you need. And you're going to be that King of Pentacles. And I want to say turning from your past to be that King of Pentacles. You need to turn from your past. And this is the situation that was necessary for your particular journey. You needed this. You may not have wanted it, but it's in your best benefit to have gone through this. So, Father, for the most specific, what do I want to say? That's not the word I want to use. For the most significant relationship in their life right now, what is a piece of advice for whoever's on their mind? For whoever's on their mind, Father. Maybe have one or two for a piece of advice for the most significant relationship in their life right now. Yep. That's funny. Trust. You need to trust in a relationship for it to thrive. I want to see the rest of them before I speak. Connection. Your connection is eternal and unbreakable. If you want it to be that way, that means you work at it. And be real with yourself. Is this something even that you want to continue? Father, is there anything else, excuse me, as a piece of advice for the most significant relationship? Yeah. Link. The bond of love grows stronger over time. So I'm feeling this is with maybe a spouse or I heard a girlfriend that you were just kind of getting started with and you wanted to see it through. Look deeply within and discover your soul's purpose in relationships. So, what is the purpose of this relationship? Are they because you know the outcome? Are they worthy of being by your side in that next chapter? And if so, trust the connection, do what you need to make it work, and stick with it. Because a good woman who will be by your side through thick and thin, who really, you know how they feel about you, right? Who really wants that, they're going to stick around and be with you. And then you honor that by honoring them and keeping it sacred and keeping your mind focused on the things that you should keep it on empathy, on loyalty, on the days that she's just upset, having mutual respect, communication and compassion, acceptance of where you are and what's going on. And all the days are not going to be pretty and butterflies. Is there anything else, Father? Oh, okay. He said, no, that's it. So then, Father, may we have a piece of angelic advice? Oh, I can't talk. A piece of angelic advice um, for the watcher. Is someone getting choked up? Are you getting emotional about this? That's okay. It's okay. That's a part of life. We have emotions for a reason and we feel them. So that's okay. Father, excuse me. May we have, yeah. Really, Lord. Is there anything else, Father? Because it's like I shuffle these cards and it's saying a blessing in disguise. And that came out in another reading. There might be some difficulties ahead, but you will push through. You got this. If you've been struggling or feeling lost, the winds of change will blow in your favor. If you've been suffering or feeling lost, some things may fall apart, but you're building the framework for something much better. Hang in there. And I heard your stay might not be as long as you think it's going to be, but the Lord has to get you to a place where He can talk to you, where you have time to, okay, let's change your life around kind of thing. But you may not have to be there as long as you think or what was said. So make the time worth it while you're there. Unexpected shift. That's what I got when I saw this. Array or A. This number serves as a gentle nudge to pursue whatever interests you most. It's possible that something could rock your boat, but you'll end up exactly where you belong, which could be in somebody's arms, your dream job, or abroad. See what I'm saying? So everything is coinciding with the other thing, on where you're headed and what it might look like, what it's going to have to be, but what you'll and where you'll end up is going to be magnificent, full of power and strength, and the courage to help someone else's life with your words is like to be able to. Okay, because he said life and death are in the power of your tongue, and if you have life in your tongue because of a close to death situation, not meaning you're passing away, but just it was just so traumatic and could have turned out so much more dreadful. That's the kind of life you want to speak, is to help someone else make the decision for the better before they have to get to that point. Is there anything else, Father? 2020 compassion. It is a confirmation that your assumptions and beliefs are correct, but it's also an encouragement to use your talents and gifts because they will benefit the world and your pockets. Be of service to others. Your potential is enormous. Amen. Is that not what we were saying? Man, and I've been through some hard things that I wish I didn't have to go through either. But being on this other side, it was all worth it. It was all worth it. So, Father, what would you like to wrap us in? What would you like to wrap us in before we go? May we have one or two, or whatever is necessary. You are the light of the world. Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Oh, I'm jealous. Okay. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Okay, I'm not jealous no more. I'm in there too. Have faith in God. Is there anything else? Have faith in God. He's going to hold you through this and go with you through this. Is there anything else? Okay. Looks like that's all. This was a good one, y'all. I'm so excited to be able to. I want to watch this back and see what was said, because I don't know all of it. I know the gist, but I'm excited to put this video together so I can rewatch it. Um, so, if you liked it, if it made sense, if it's helpful, go ahead and put it in the chat. But until next time, deuces.